Hello, my darlings, and welcome to episode 5, season 3 of the Uncomplicated Perimenopause podcast. I'm Kate Grosvenor, a perimenopause expert and life coach.
And I'm Gabriella Grosvenor, Kate's daughter, here to learn with you all.
Right, we've made a decision. Whatever happens in this podcast, we're carrying on. What do we mean by that? You may have noticed, if you're watching on video, you won't have noticed if you're listening in, that we are in a completely different place than we normally am because... Normally am, oh dear Lord. Because we have created a new kind of set or whatever for the podcast studio, and we have had a few technical issues.
If you're watching on video with all of my musical achievements behind me.
And you have changed your name to Rowan.
None of these are mine. Everyone else's, not mine.
All these are mine, just to let you know.
If you're not watching on video, this sounds strange, but the certificates behind us, all music's filling the room.
Yes.
Not one mine.
Bless you. But you have many other beautiful talents.
I just wanted to clarify, it's not that they don't want to put them up.
No.
I don't have any.
Bless your heart. No, we're in a room that I use it for my coaching one-to-one clients. And it's also, for some reason, became let's put all the music certificates on the wall. It started off as let's put all my coaching and masters.
Yes, I've just noticed your masters. I've never seen that certificate before.
No. Oh, okay. So my masters, my bachelors, my coaching certificates, all that stuff came. And then it became where we put all the Rowan's music certificates as well. So, and then I thought, well, if Rowan's music certificates are going up, I'm going to put my music certificates up as well.
And then Jenna's like, watch me get some certificates.
And it just got a bit silly. So anyway, we digress. We don't need to be talking about all that stuff, do we, darling? So tell me, question for today. What are we talking about?
Longish one.
Okay. Buckle in. Yes. Right, here we go.
Helen.
Hi, Helen.
She's 40.
Bless. Okay.
She's from London.
Yeah.
I said that really well. Usually I go London.
London.
She's from London.
Hello, let's...
I can't come back from London and say London.
London.
No. So, when I try and sleep at night, my legs are really twitchy and so sore.
Okay.
It's every day.
Yeah.
When I'm actually trying to get to sleep.
Right.
There's so much pressure on them.
Mm-hmm.
And they're almost itchy for some reason.
Yeah, no, I know why.
And I only struggle with this once I'm trying to fall asleep.
Yeah.
I have a very stressful job as it is.
Mm-hmm.
And when I come home, I try and relax, thinking that it would help with a couple of glasses of wine.
Right, okay. Makes it worse, yeah.
And now,
why?
Because she's obviously has a really good job, she's surviving on coffee to stay awake.
Which makes it worse.
And it's making it worse and she doesn't know why, but she needs it. And then she just ended it with, it's a never-ending F cycle. So.
Okay. What is it? What is it and why? And what can she do?
What is it? I think she's just kind of like, Helen.
Okay. Helen, darling, don't worry. I know exactly what it is. I know how we can help you. And don't worry.
Dr. Grosvenor in the house.
I'm not a doctor. Don't tell them that because then I'll be held accountable. It's restless leg syndrome. And it's very, very, very common in perimenopause. And that's the good news. Not the good news, but the good news is I know what it is. The bad news is it's very common in perimenopause, and the worst news is you're doing exactly the wrong things. The good news is I know how to help you. So it's going to have good news, bad news, good news. Okay, so what is restless leg syndrome? Well, it's kind of like, it's not just an itch or a cramp. It's more like a kind of a creeping, crawly of sensation. It's almost like a pulling feeling deep inside your legs, right? So it's sometimes in the calves, it can be in the thighs, it's typically in the calves, sometimes or even in the feet, and it's a pressure that builds up. Okay. Sometimes it can even feel like a buzzing or an electric sensation underneath the skin. And
she's described a few ones, sore, itchy.
Yeah, and it's almost like you've got this irresistible urge to move or twitch your legs. It's really unpleasant. Okay, but when you move your legs around, you get a temporary relief. So it's almost like you want to move or twitch your legs because at least then there's a temporary relief. But obviously, if you're then moving your legs or like banging your legs around to relieve the feeling, you're then keeping yourself awake, which is what's happening to her fundamentally.
And if she has a partner as well, it's a bit awkward. Like moving your legs around in
and then they're talking to you and telling you to stop it and then it's keeping you awake. So some women will say it feels like their legs won't settle or as though something's crawling around inside of them, which obviously is not a very nice thing. Okay, It usually happens at night time or when you're lying in bed. So that's very typical of what she's describing as well. And of course, what she's describing as well, that next day they lack focus, they're extra tired. So
yeah, there's a lot to
there's lots of
that.
So what she's describing is very, very, very typical, because you end up with, you know, no energy and everything else. So what can you do about it? That's the basic point. So yes, everything you're describing sounds very atypical of restless leg syndrome. What causes it? Right, well, the first thing that causes it is fluctuating estrogen. Because when you have estrogen that's fluctuating all over the place, what's essentially happening is that it affects the estrogen, it affects your dopamine pathways. So, excuse me, I've got a frog in my throat. Dopamine plays a key role in muscle movement. So when estrogen fluctuates wildly, as it does in perimenopause, it can disrupt those signals, and it leads to an irresistible urge to like move your legs around. Also, progesterone. Now, excuse me, as we know, estrogen fluctuates, and as it leaves the body, I say this probably most episodes, estrogen fluctuates like a roller coaster. It leaves your body. Progesterone goes down in a straight line, but as progesterone decreases, progesterone is your muscle relaxant, so your muscles aren't as relaxed as they used to be, which is obviously therefore a problem. So your muscles aren't as relaxed, and so then they can feel tense, they can feel twitchy, which is not much use. Also, she didn't mention, but it's worth going to your GP and checking if you've got low ferritin levels or low iron levels. Sometimes that can lead to low ferritin is your body's iron storage. If you don't know what ferritin is, it can trigger or it can worsen restless leg syndrome. So if you've got low iron levels, estrogen also influences how your body uses the iron. If you have got low iron levels, it's worth checking with your GP or having your iron tested. And then if you have got low in iron levels, if you bring it up to normal, sometimes that's just enough to do it. One of the major reasons for restless leg syndrome is a magnesium deficiency. So taking a magnesium helps muscles relax, and it also helps nerve functions. Okay, so as stress rises, sleep quality decreases, and magnesium can become depleted, especially if you drink alcohol and caffeine.
Both, yeah.
Right. So, and this is no judgment. We've all been there. No. Zero judgment. So, a magnesium complex is your best idea. Now, this isn't a shameless plug, but it's a little bit of a plug, just because a magnesium complex has 3 that you need. Okay, so some magnesium complex, and I'm not bashing another brand, and I'm not going to name brands, but some complexes will contain glycinate, maybe taurate and citrate. Okay, those are not the 3 you need. You need magnesium glycinate, taurate, and malate.
Yeah, I've seen others as well that only have 2.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason that you need malate, so magnesium glycinate will help you to sleep and feel sleepy and relaxed. Magnesium taurate will help an anxious brain and help your brain to be calmer. Magnesium malate is the one that will help your muscles relax. Okay, so magnesium malate is specifically good for this, but the mixed with the glycinate will help you to feel sleepier. And because she describes having, sorry, what was her name? Helen. Because Helen describes having as quite a stressful job.
Yeah.
Having the magnesium taurate in there will help with that. So magnesium complex, and I'll put the link, because we obviously sell a magnesium complex in the Lifestyle brand. Yeah. That will be perfect for her.
And it's so not shameless plug. You've created all of these specifically for them.
Yeah.
So you know.
I mean, that's why we have those 3 for women in perimenopause, because restless leg syndrome is very, very common. Muscle twitching in general at night time is very, very common. Taurate is women very often have an anxious brain in perimenopause because our dopamine and our serotonin is played with. So that's very common, and sleep issues are very common as well. So magnesium deficiency, hugely common for women in perimenopause, leading factor in restless leg syndrome. Okay. Another common factor is sleep disruption. So as our sleep is disrupted, night sweats, heightened cortisol, all those kind of things that we know are really, really common in perimenopause, they all play a factor. Cortisol, which is stress hormone, she mentions a stressful job, she's not sleeping properly. These can all overstimulate the nervous system. Okay. What that does is it keeps your muscles on alert, inverted commas. So restless leg syndrome often worsens at night because your cortisol levels should drop, and if they're not dropping, if your cortisol levels aren't dropping, that will kick the obviously restless leg syndrome gets worse. Dopamine dysregulation as well. So perimenopause can throw your brain chemistry off balance. So low dopamine or disrupted dopamine, signaling is a very recognized form of cause of restless leg syndrome as well. So sometimes if you went to the doctor and you said, I've got restless leg syndromes, they would give you something to boost dopamine. Is it my favourite treatment? If I'm going to be honest, I would start with the other things first, because I'm a bit kind of the belief that let's start with supplements, let's start with lifestyle. But if you tried everything else, if you boosted your iron levels, if you've boosted your magnesium, if you've tried sleep hygiene to try and switch off screens at night time, for example, and you still haven't had any improvement, then that would be an option. Also, there are certain medications she hasn't mentioned here, but there's certain medications that can interfere with it. So
interfere. I thought you were going to say opposite.
No. So there's certain things that we know would make restless leg syndrome worse. For example, if you're taking antihistamines, okay, you're more likely to get restless leg syndrome. So I've no idea if Helen is or not, but if she's got an allergy, you're more likely to get twitchy legs.
Right.
Also, if you're taking antidepressants, so SSRIs, SNRIs, so very common. So if you've got a stressful job, quite often, I'm not saying Helen has, I don't know what medication she's taking, but quite often those kind of medications would have that kind of effect. Okay. Also, if you've got low vitamin D levels,
which is common in this country,
it's common with perimenopause, that can help. Now, she's not going to like what I'm about to say on the next one. Caffeine definitely makes it worse because it interferes with it overstimulates you and works on your nervous system. So we know for a fact caffeine makes restless leg syndrome worse.
Even if you take caffeine in the morning, it can still affect you.
It because it works on your adrenaline and it stimulates. It's like that. Do you know when we talk about sugar and we talk about that crash? You stimulate and then you crash.
Yeah.
That's the thing. It kind of heightens your kind of nervous system and then it crashes your nervous system. It's that kind of thing as well.
Makes sense. Yeah.
You with me? And also,
is there not like with sugar? From what I know, you have sugar, you get that boost, and then sudden crash, but it's all within the same couple of hours.
But the thing is, you then need caffeine to get back up to your normal level. Yeah. It's the same kind of thing.
Yeah.
If you drink too much coffee, you then become so exhausted. So you feel like you need more coffee to compensate.
Yeah.
So coffee becomes an addiction, like everything, all other stimulants. Everything that you take that's a stimulant, you end up wanting more and more of it. 1 cup of coffee in the morning. Is you going to be okay?
Yeah.
But as I always say, I wouldn't drink it for the first hour and a half because your natural cortisol levels will help you. The other thing that we know makes it really bad is wine.
Yeah, I was just going to ask. Yeah,
wine is particularly an issue. Histamine levels we know are not great. Antihistamines, by the way, are contained in a lot of sleep aids. So some sleeping tablets or some things that will help you sleep often contain antihistamines. So you think you're doing yourself good, but it might actually help problems with that. Wine, caffeine, if you've got low vitamin D, if you've got low iron levels.
What does alcohol do to it? Same?
Alcohol is very complicated, but wine in particular can be, in perimenopause in general, we know that you become what we call histamine intolerant, and anything that contains histamines or works with your histamine levels is a big problem. And wine in particular, and weird things like strawberries.
Okay.
Go figure. You know, there's so
not where I thought it was going.
Yeah, I know, right? So that there's weird things that you have to just be aware of. Histamine levels can really have issues with you. Other things like even circulation issues. Yeah. If you're that kind of person, so like Rowan's always got cold feet and cold hands. Yeah. She's got more issues. So if you had like, I won't say it's linked to growing pains, but if you were a kid that always had cold feet, cold hands, you're more likely, I would say, to have restless leg, because circulatory issues in general, you know, can lead to things like restless legs. And finally, stress is a huge amplifier.
As she already said, she has a job that's stressful. Yeah, I don't know if she's got family life as well. Yeah,
so when you're tense, your body releases more adrenaline. So this is the thing, anything that plays on your nervous system, anything that plays on your adrenaline system and keeps your muscles in like a semi-contracted state, so anything that makes you nervous, tense, stimulated. So this is the thing with caffeine as well. Yeah. This is the thing with stress. Anything that stimulates you, makes you nervous, makes you agitated. It's another reason why restless leg syndrome tends to flare up on nights when you're exhausted, but you can't switch off mentally. So all of these are massive factors. So what could you do? Yeah. Well, the first thing that you can do, keep your magnesium levels topped up. Okay? Especially glycinate, malate, taurate, like I mentioned. Okay? Check your iron and ferritin levels with your GP or your doctor. Try and wind down properly before bed. That doesn't mean alcohol. That means a warm bath, not a hot bath. Hot baths can cause circulatory issues. Okay, so you want a warm bath.
I assume it would help. I don't know why. I would have assumed
warm bath, not hot baths. Yeah, hot would, I thought. Because what warm baths will do is they will constrict the blood vessels, or they dilate it too far. So you don't want a cold shower, and you don't want a hot bath. You want warm, because you don't want to constrict or dilate too far. Gentle stretching. So warm bath, gentle stretching. Magnesium creams are really good.
Ready for you to say yoga.
Yeah, yoga. I'm basically saying yoga. Gentle stretching, yoga. Nighttime yoga. Yoga with Adrienne is really, she does a lovely bedtime yoga. It's basically gentle stretching on the floor with nice floaty music. And her dog does it with her. Our magnesium cream as well is really, really good for restless leg.
Yeah. Yeah, that's actually, I didn't think of that. That's helped so many women that we know. Yeah.
We have a magnesium spray and a magnesium cream. The magnesium spray has a higher concentration, but the magnesium cream is also nice because you spend time massaging it in, and it has things like lavender in as well, which is really lovely. So they're both really great. Just maintaining good sleep hygiene, so making sure you're winding down properly before bed, turning screens off. Obviously no caffeine after like midday, making sure you're hydrated, you know, not watching TV, all that kind of stuff, and limit alcohol. Yeah. That's really, really important.
I think, I'm not speaking obviously on behalf of Helen, I think she thinks that alcohol will help her.
Yeah, that's the thing, because we want to take the edge off the day. But if you actually had a warm bath and stretched and unplugged from the world, alcohol numbs, but it doesn't unwind you.
Yeah. That's true.
It numbs the stress. Yeah. Actually doing mindfulness exercises like journaling, like
you have a beautiful bedtime routine.
I do.
The bath, the skincare, the creams, smells. You've associated smells with time to go to bed now.
Yeah.
It's so healthy.
It is. And I have to, because obviously being ADHD, my brain works 100 miles an hour.
Yeah, you've always struggled.
I've always struggled with sleep, and it takes me, so I have to read, not watch TV. I have a bath with Epsom salts and beautiful ovarium oils, so like lavender and all those kind of beautiful smells. I have to have the room I come back into, it has to be a certain, not too bright, you know, no big light as we call it in the UK. Warm light, not cold light. Certain smells has to be beautiful, kind of relaxing, calm smell. I don't like my room to be messy. So it should be tidy so nothing distracts me, because if I start tidying up, then I get distracted and then that's a nightmare. Yeah. And these kind of things, my pyjamas are always ready, so I don't have to start hunting for them. Bamboo pyjamas, obviously. Goes without saying, the bamboo pyjamas have to be out. And my skincare routine is very, very important to me. Yeah. So it obviously, so I look after my skin, but also that kind of massage and just calming down, winding down. And journaling, if you've got an active mind, is also brilliant. Those kind of things, that's a proper sleep hygiene routine, rather than just numbing. A TV numbs your brain. It doesn't wind down your brain. Alcohol numbs your brain. It doesn't wind. I used to eat chocolate to numb. Yeah. That was food was the way we all have our numbing. That's what I used to do. You know that back in 2016. That was my. At the end of the day, I just used to look forward to going to bed so I could eat chocolate to have almost like a sugar coma. It's the only way I could describe it. It was just sweets and chocolate, and that would be how I would numb out from the day, from the pain of what was going on in my head. But it didn't do anything. It would just literally numb out until the sugar wore off. So sleep hygiene is really, really important. So yeah, I hope that helps. But yeah, start with magnesium. That's the easiest fix. Magnesium as in the complex, and then magnesium either spray or cream, and then your sleep hygiene. And you'll be shocked how much better it gets just with magnesium. It's such a simple fix. Yeah. So magnesium complex, magnesium spray, sleep hygiene. Then it would be looking at your iron levels. I would say probably 90% of women, that's going to fix. Yeah. Seriously. So fingers crossed, Helen. I hope that helps. All right, my darlings. Obviously, at the moment, we're in October, so it's World Menopause Month. So join with us, make some noise. Let's share episodes. I don't know, just make sure that you're sharing your perimenopause and menopause journeys online, because we need to make sure we're paying it forward, and that women are aware that we need to keep this conversation going. We've got a very special episode coming up next episode, so I hope you stay tuned. All right, my darlings, take care, and we will speak to you soon. Bye.